Welcome this Wednesday, beautiful day. It's so good to see all your smiley faces. I love that big smile, Brenda. That was awesome. Okay, welcome. All right, let's do, Happy New Year, by the way. It's nice to see everybody again. Let's do some wants and needs. Anybody have any? I'm sure we all have some needs. We need some buyers to find some houses, right? We need some sellers to put their houses on the market. But let's see if anybody has anything specific. Feel free to unmute yourself now and let us know. Anybody? Okay, I don't see anybody itching to get on and say anything. So we will move on. Let's talk about the broker moment. This is happening so much right now that I thought I should talk about it. If you are representing a seller and you get this wonderful offer that says, we will pay so much money over appraised value, isn't that so nice? We all love that, right? But what happens if you get a bad appraisal? Is your seller tied to what that let's just say the buyer said, we'll pay $5,000 over appraisal, and the purchase price was $400, but the appraisal came in at $350. Is your seller tied to $355? Who wants to answer that?
No, right?
They actually
because
are.
they're saying that they will pay us so much money over the appraised value.
Yeah, and the seller agreed to that. So if the appraisal comes in at $350, the seller agrees to $355. So I want you to be very, I have to say this so much, so I drill this in your head, careful, that when you accept something that says we're willing to pay over appraised value, that you don't put your seller in a bind, because sellers can't back out, remember? There's so many things that a seller gets stuck with a contract. So my best advice is that when you get something like that, great, that's the best offer, right? They're willing to pay so much money over appraised value. But in the event that we get a really bad appraisal, because I've had them, I've had a listing where I had one really bad appraisal, then the other one came in right. So you want to be really careful, right? So the best advice is to say, in the event that the seller does not approve the appraised value, the seller has the right to cancel the contract. That's your best bet, because, and you can say a certain amount. If the appraisal comes in below 475, the seller has the right to cancel the contract. That way the buyer has an idea where you're going. But if that appraiser all of a sudden comes in and says is a bad appraisal, and we've all had them, a really just bad opinion, you do not want to tie your seller to a contract where he's literally tied to it. He or she has no options to get out of what they just agreed to. Sure, it's great that they're paying $5,000 over it, but if it's a low appraisal, who cares, right? So give your seller an opportunity to get out of it in this market. That's the biggest thing that's going on in this market right now. I had to put that out there today. Any questions, thoughts, feelings, experiences? Yeah. Anybody? Okay. Moving on. We are doing some new class. This is our classes for next week. We are back to doing Raising the Bar classes. It is Stephen Pressbury that is teaching those. He just got them CE approved. He got himself CE approved in order to make them CE, which we had previously. And so it took us just a little bit of time to get that up and running. He is, if you don't know him, he's English, so he has an English accent. It makes the class so enjoyable. I love it. So we're super excited. He is doing a fantastic job. He taught it yesterday if you were on it. I'm excited to have him be our CE teacher for the Raising the Bar course. So don't forget to be on those classes. But check out our classes next week as well. This year, you guys asked for a lot of core CE. We are giving you a lot of core CE. You will get a lot of it. So watch for it and make sure you grab it here because it's free. Here are our closers for the week. Good work, you guys. Let's see. I know, everybody, let's give them the silent clap. Good job. 33 closings, you guys, in the beginning of the year. Way to go. Okay, and Brett Coulter, he capped out this week. Way to go, Brett. Okay, let's go to our affiliates quickly, and let's see, Amy White. I'm sorry, White Knight Insurance, Amy Corcoran. We
No
just
worries.
barely have got a new agent named Amy White, so that's going to throw me off.
No worries. Thank you. My name is Amy Corcoran with White Knight Insurance Solutions. We do all the home and auto insurance. We specialize in log homes, log cabins, manufactured homes, and mobile homes, which are kind of hard to place. My biggest thing that I wanted to point out to you as realtors this week is we have seen a couple homes come through with 2 items that you guys need to be aware of when you're either buying or selling a home that will not be insurable, period. And that is, one is polyurethane piping. All their plumbing, if this is done with polyurethane piping, it is not insurable. And the second is the old fuse systems. Okay, that's not a circuit breaker, it's a fuse. I'm going to throw on the Presidio Family Real Estate pictures of what the piping looks like and the fuse systems. They may be insured now. It's probably because they're grandfathered into their current policy, but once that insurance policy changes, they will not be insurable. They will hit a brick wall, which will cause problems with not only insurance, but then ultimately their financing. And so these would need to be replaced. So watch for that on the Presidio Family Real Estate. I'm going to post a picture of what that looks like. And just know, if you see this in a home, you're going to need to ask to have it be replaced, or it will not be insurable, period.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Amy. All right. And Mike Johnson from Silverback, I saw you on there. What you got for us?
I just want to remind everybody, I know there's a really low inventory right now, and maybe a lot of you are doing new builds. And I just want to let you know, we do have a home warranty plan for new builds. Usually you have a 1-year coverage by the builder, I believe. And so we offer, for the same price as our normal plan, a 2 to 4 year plan, where it starts after the first year, begins year 2, and ends year 4. So it's 3 years of coverage for the same $500 price. So if that is something that you guys are interested in, or if your clients that are building houses want to know if that is available, it is available through us. Thank you, Jen.
Very cool. Thanks, Mike. All right. And our presenter for the day is my good friend, Clayne Wayman, and he's at Integrity First Mortgage. So let me just tell you a little bit about Clayne. He's been serving in the mortgage profession since March 1st. He remembers the day, 2004, and he has seen it all. With his unique blend of charm and robust knowledge in this great profession, he is sought after by some of the top real estate companies in Utah. His focus on giving clients the wow experience causes him to not only be a leader in client satisfaction, but he is a leader in the industry. He champions the art of communication by having a team of people who assist clients and realtors every step of the mortgage process. Clayne is a husband and father to 4. He just had a new baby girl, 4 beautiful girls. His hobbies include Bikram yoga, hiking, basketball, traveling, and being an inspirational prodigy in the lives of many friends and family. Clayne is greatly respected among his peers, colleagues, friends, and his family. Absolutely adore him. His wit and charm causes people to become addicted to his very pleasing and loving personality. And I just adore him. So Clayne, take it away. Teach us what it takes to get referrals from your database today.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to do a quick screen share here so that we can pull this up with what I have here. All right. So what do you all see on your screen? You see Integrity First Lending?
We see your face.
You don't see Integrity First Lending on the other side?
Nope, we just see you and your headset.
Oh, there should be a screen share. Let me see.
Did you down at the bottom just hit share screen?
Oh, there it is. That's why. Glad I asked. All right, there we go. How's that? Do we see the screen on this side?
Yep, we see it now.
Okay, perfect. All right, I just want to say thank you very much, Jennifer, for allowing me to come on and share a few things. And I want to share with everybody the power of referrals and the foundation to what I built my career on. So as Jennifer mentioned, March 1st, so just right around the corner, will be 17 years since I entered this great profession. My story is somewhat of a rags to riches story. I came from a very humble beginnings, and the secrets that I'm going to share with you today is the foundation to what got me to where I am. This is everything to me. The family is everything. It is at the heart of what I do. When I have the hard days and when I have days that don't go exactly how I think it should, I look in the eyes of my family, and this is why I do what I do. So Jennifer mentioned that I get 45 minutes today. I want to share with everybody. I'm generally on the shorter side of things. I'm more of a short-winded type of guy than go on and on. One of the reasons I'm probably going to end this a little early today, and one of the reasons I do that is I would like to leave the opportunity for you to ask some questions. So if you don't have a notepad in front of you, I would invite you to get a notepad. For one reason, if any questions arise as I share this information, I'd love to have you write that question down, and then I'll answer questions at the very end. Also, the other reason you want to have a pen and a pad next to you is there really are some great nuggets I'm going to share with you. There are some nuggets I'm going to share with you that hold the power to completely transform your business. And if you apply what I'm going to share with you here today, year 2021 can be your best year. And I want to show you how and why. This is our new little baby, just barely brand new, January 8th, and just excited to have her part of the family. So, referrals through relationships. How does the idea of having an endless stream of referrals for the rest of your career sound? And if you plan on having a long career in this profession, whether on the mortgage side or on the real estate side, your name's going to get out there, and how well is that name going to be presented? And this is the foundation to having a stream of referrals. What I'm going to share with you today. What I'm going to share with you is how I went from the rags to buying my dream home at 36 years old. And what I'm going to share with you is proven. It is the path that I walk every day in my business. It is the path to success in this profession. So this is the foundation. It sounds simple, but this is really the foundation to getting an endless stream of referrals. You need to understand why you. And the power in this business is you really need to get clear on why you. What makes you so unique? And the first thing that I'm going to share with you is you have the ability to connect. I've been in this business, like I said, coming up on 17 years, and there's been these discount broker shops that pop up like popcorn from time to time. And I'm here to tell you, you offer something that none of these discount brokers offer. And that is you. Your ability to connect. And there is only one you. And the real thing that I love about connection is real connection cannot be faked. Real connection is not something you do. It is not some kind of analytical spreadsheet. It is something that you be. No real estate company can give this to you. They can't train you on it. They can't give this to a client. The connection that you will convey to others is only something that you can do. So part of being you is authenticity. You must be really authentic. And I know sometimes when you haven't had a commission in a long time and it's authentic that you really need to feed your family or whatnot, you must have authenticity that's in the interest of your client, because your client can feel it. Your client can really feel if you're looking out for their best interest or yours. And it's absolutely imperative if you're going to have a stream of referrals that you be you. and you be you by being completely authentic. Be your most authentic, real self, and you will attract the people you want to work with. And when you are real, you may have heard this before, you will lose your commission breath. Your clients can almost smell your breath of commission if you're not being real. And so with these discount broker shops, I found that the commission side rarely can even come up if they know you're going to take care of them. And so you lose, so that just gets kind of lost, and the focus becomes what you are and what you can offer them. And you don't have to try to force the connection. And the way I like to describe it is be like a river and allow it to flow naturally. Just allow it to flow naturally. Now, here is a big nugget that I want to share with you. This is something that you could write down. You could even put it on a plaque, put it in your office, a sticky note, this next thing I'm going to share with you. And that is, messy authenticity is better than perfection that is fake. Your greatest asset is your ability to connect with others. I cannot understate how powerful this asset is. This is the asset that brings the magic to your life. This is the asset that takes somebody from a little mediocre life to living a magnificent life. I mean, this profession can give you a powerfully magnificent life. And it's not so much what it's going to do for you, but the life that you build for yourself is like a report card of what you've done for other families. Some of the most sacred things happen inside the home. Like, you're going to laugh together, you're going to cry together, you're going to have the most precious memories built at home. And so when you connect with others and you assist others in finding this home for them, you're changing lives one home at a time. There's some crazy statistics out there that of crime rates and longevity in relationships and all that for people that buy homes versus people that just spend their time renting. And so we get to be the facilitators to the transformation of people's lives. And a home can be the difference between a little mediocre life and somebody that feels magnificent about themselves. I mean, I know that might sound silly, but it's an important piece that we all get to be part of. See, what I found is the real wealth is found in the ability of connection. It's something so unique that only you can give it. No discount broker shop can give this to their clients. Only you. This is your unique selling point. I just can't echo this enough. Connection and trust cannot be bought. It cannot be purchased. No amount of commission discounts can earn true connection and trust. And so when you focus your business around connection and trust, all the other pieces fall into place. And here's a big one. You must arrange yourself in such a way that when someone meets you, they feel like they are home. I'd like to have you, this is my house actually. This is my lovely home. And my little girls in this picture. I don't share this to brag at all. I share this to show you what's possible. I share this to show you that I live what I'm telling you. This is the foundation of my business. This is how I do what you do. This is how I'm able to do what I do. And this one statement right here, you must arrange yourself in such a way that when someone meets you that they feel like home. If you can spend some time alone with a notepad in a quiet place, maybe you have some gentle music playing, and get really clear with what that would look like, of what it would look like for you to have this feeling that flows off you to where when people meet you, it feels like home. If you can develop this ability, you've won. This is the foundation to getting referrals, is being able to convey this feeling of people are home. You are the only you there is. This is me and my girls on Halloween. And yeah, you have to be real. And, you know, even if you're going to dress up as the genie for Halloween, the most important thing is that you are you. And you have to realize this isn't just some philosophy that you are the only you there is. Like if you write this down and read this to yourself, you are the only you there is. I know it might sound somewhat, I don't know if cliche is the word, but somewhat a minute point. But when you realize, like, we're in the business where, you know, I don't like to consider myself in sales, just because I consider myself more like a consultant, where I'm just guiding people to their home. And I'll share a little bit more about that in a minute. But you must realize that you are the only you. You're rare. And no amount of money can buy this. This is what you offer. So what I want to share with you with this picture is you must get comfortable being you. You must be comfortable being you. Being comfortable with you is what gives the feeling to others of being home. This is how people feel home. Like when you're home, you're just comfortable. And so I know when you meet somebody for the first time, there might be a little bit of nervousness or whatnot, but you must just get comfortable being your express self. And that will exude the feeling of being home. People do not buy analytical facts. People buy homes. And I will even go so far as say people don't buy houses either. People buy homes. There's something distinctly different about a home than just a house. Now, granted, if you're working with an investor, that might be another conversation. You might want to deal with analytical facts. But even when you're dealing with analytical facts, there's a deeper reason why that investor is having this conversation with analytical facts. If you go deeper than the analytical facts, investors, what do they want? They want security. They want freedom. And these are the things that are behind the analytical facts. And so when you're talking about just analytical facts, you are just living on the surface. And so there are facts about homes that are important. So I don't want to say they're not important, but you must get to the root of why they're important. Why are they important to your client? And you must realize that at the end of the day, people are not going to buy the analytical facts. They're going to buy something that feels like home. And they want to work with people that make them feel like they're home. And that's where you come in. This right here, this picture right here demonstrates the power of connection. You literally are the key that unlocks the doors of magic. And I don't want to sound like some fairy tale here, but connection and trust will give you a fairy tale type of business. It's not to say that this business isn't going to be hard or difficult or challenging, and you probably know that if you've been around. But The power of connection unlocks the doors of magic. And I'd like to have you look at this picture here. This right here, life is what you make it. This is what connection can do for you. Is you could be the realtor that sells the top of the house right there for your seller, that's just kind of a blah looking house. Or you could turn it into the bottom, the after picture. And this is the power. This is the power that you have. And so what you do in the hearts of others will yield you far more riches than what's in your bank account. People are going to remember how you made them feel. They're not going to remember the analytical facts. They're going to remember how you took care of them during the process. This is one of my favorite quotes. We're all just walking each other home. If you can give the client the ability to feel like you're just walking them home, they're going to remember that. They're not going to remember the words that you said, but they are going to remember that you were there for them when you walked them home. If you can give people that feeling that you are just walking them home, you will forever, forever have their trust. So in summary, this is how you gain the connection. You must listen to them. You must listen. And when you listen, you're going to hear what's happening below those analytical facts. You're going to hear the real reason. And when you find that reason, you're going to establish trust. And when that trust is established, I have to implore you to do what you say you will do. There is nothing like a trust killer than to violate something that you said you're going to do. Like if you said you're going to call somebody at 1 o'clock, call them at 1 o'clock. And this isn't to say that you can't be human, because let's say something happens, your daughter ends up in the hospital and you couldn't call somebody. You can restore the integrity around your word by simply saying, hey, listen, this came up. I can now talk to you at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Will that be okay? And restore that with them. And do what you say you'll do. And then the final piece, you must align yourself with professionals who are real and authentic like you. And I'll just say this again. You listen to your clients not just to what they want. You must know why they want it. And then you can often remind them of why, if they ever get discouraged during the process. Because when we have short inventory, there could be clients that get discouraged and they want to just throw in the towel. And you can remind them beyond the analytical facts of why they're in the market or why they're going to sell their house and get their move up home. You establish trust by doing exactly what you say you'll do. The professionals you work with, this is aligning yourself with professionals. The professionals you work with is an echo to who you are. It's really important, the professionals that you're going to work with, to echo who you really are. Who you align yourself with can be the difference of a career long of referrals or a career of having to constantly buy leads. The difference between a mediocre business or a great business is the ability to do these 4 things. And so, while all of this sounds incredible, I asked some clients and some realtors to come in a couple of years ago. They didn't know what questions we were going to ask them. I wasn't even present. It was just my photographer, my film producer that asked these questions. And so I've got a short video here that kind of shows you the taste of what that'll look like when you apply these things that I just shared with you.
So I worked with Clayne on a couple of transactions. You know, he brings a great energy to the transaction. Always makes you feel comfortable. Always makes you feel like your transaction is the most important thing that he's working on.
Clayne's always easygoing, and he made us feel really good. We were able to go into his office, and they pulled in an extra chair, and all three of us sat down, and we were able to talk about the house. We went through a few different processes and changed the loan a couple times, and he was on it, always giving me a call, always making sure that I understood not only the ins and outs of that particular type of loan, but also just to, you know, give me comfort in knowing that that was my best option.
There was a point in time when I thought that first-time home buying was going to be a complete nightmare. And they absolutely made it a dream.
Yeah, so I actually asked a lot of questions, and he answered all of them. I want to say to the best of his ability, but it was like perfect. You know,
there has to be a catch. What's the catch? And there wasn't one. There wasn't a catch. And what he told me really stood out for me. He said, I am always willing and I always give the best offer, the best conditions, the very first time the person comes to see me. And I think that was the difference between him and the other two mortgage brokers.
he'd reply back faster than I had answers for most of the time. It was really good. Everything was awesome. Showed me all the houses, had all the answers to all my questions. Everything was perfect.
Well, first of all, he's honest. What you see is what you get. He's personable. He's really straightforward. And he knows what he can do. And, you know, he's confident. And I love that.
It didn't matter when it was, text, phone call. I mean, I think he went above and beyond more than anyone else would have. I mean, my aunt, who was a realtor, was saying, he's good. He's really good.
Answers my calls. His communication level is top notch. I know that when I've got a question or any of my clients have a question, he's there to answer and take care of whatever need arises.
I don't look at myself as just like the mortgage guy who's got some cool little mortgage product or widget and can sell them. I'm really a planner. And I do a lot of mortgage planning with people. And what that planning might look like is if they're looking to buy in 6 months, I'll take an application now. We'll look at their picture and see what we can do between now and 6 months to put them in the most powerful, strong driver's seat to getting in the home that they want. I would say if you're not buying because of fear, you're really leaving a lot of money on the table for your family. Because not only are you buying a home where you're going to have some of the most precious memories built there, you're leaving a legacy for your family. Whereas if you're renting, you're building somebody else's legacy and not your own. All right, everybody. That's my presentation. So if you'd like to unmute yourself, I'd be happy to take any questions that you may have. No questions?
Clayne, there was a article or a segment on the news the other night talking about home buying going into the year 2021 and lending rates and all of that kind of stuff. And then I was talking with a financial advisor yesterday, and he was mentioning it's kind of split 50-50 on what the economy is going to look like moving forward. And, you know, what do you see the lending industry being like in the next 3, 6, 8 months?
Yeah.
Or even for the year? What's your projection?
Well, I'm still out there looking for my crystal ball. I haven't found my crystal ball yet. Having said that, I can give you kind of an educated opinion. There are a few things that are happening. One of the things, we have a new administration this, and there's been a talk about a stimulus package that's the biggest stimulus package that's ever come through. On one hand, while that might be a good thing for a lot of people, there's also a lot of conversation that inflation is going to be through the roof. And when inflation is in through the roof, if that, because there's already indications of inflation, when inflation is coming through the roof, then what we're going to see is most likely an increasing of interest rates. Now, if interest rates were to go skyrocket too high, the Fed has proven that they'll buy the mortgage-backed securities, which would then therefore drive back down the interest rates. So I think the Fed is closely watching how the market's performing. And I don't, even if inflation kind of starts to really get out of hand, I don't see them allowing it get too wild. If it does get too wild, if it does go too far up, it really could collapse the housing, or at least put it on a major plateau. What I know is you've got to work in the business based on how things are today. Right now, today, interest rates are amazing. It's very easy to get caught up in this business of all the what ifs. What if this happens? You know, in 17 years, I cannot tell you how many what ifs I've lived through. And what I found is it's very simple. The sun rises in the east, it sets in the west, and in between that happening, I get hungry and I need a place to stay for when I go to bed at night. And there's certain needs that human beings have, and housing is at the heart of those needs. And so even during the downturn of the economy, like 2008, 2009, all those years that I lived through during that time in this business and survived, people still bought and sold homes. I remember the news media would talk about, hey, there's lenders aren't giving anybody loans anymore. And what happened during that period was lending guidelines would get completely tightened, where it was so loose during those times. We never got to a place where we wouldn't lend money. We just got to a place where we got incredibly strict on verifying income. And so I see that money is going to be around. The housing market ties into the financial system in a massive way. It's not, I mean, if you think of what housing touches, mortgages, for example, mortgages are securitized, and there's and people's 401ks and IRAs, those those security instruments is part of people's investment portfolios, and they don't even know it, you know? And so it's such a huge piece. It's said that the financial sector makes up for approximately 60% of our national GDP. So I would say that they're gonna keep an eye on it, and I would project rates are going to be relatively stable for the next 3 to 8 months. So, all right. Any other questions?
Are you seeing loans, appraisals, like still crazy all over the place?
You mean like values?
Yeah.
I haven't had anything recently that was like, whoa, they were far off. But I've had a few that's like within $4,000 or $5,000, sometimes $10,000 of sales price. But I haven't had anything in recent months of $50,000 off sales price. I haven't had that recently. Although I have heard around the industry that some of that's happening. I'll comment on it a little bit. Appraisers, whether it's a VA, FHA, or conventional, they're supposed to be evaluating it based on how the market's performing. However, this might be somewhat tiny bit pessimistic, but this is what I see. FHA and VA has a higher standard. They're a little bit harder. And sometimes if I see a short appraisal, it generally is an FHA or VA. I don't see it as often on conventional loans, although it can happen. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you, Jennifer, once again for allowing me to hop in. And if I can assist anybody further, I would love the opportunity to work with more of you.